Okay, we're learning the seventh Mishnah in the third parak in Bava Metzia. You can find it on page 108 in the handouts that are found on the bima if you want to look inside. And we're learning Zecher Nishmas Nach Shomer ben Tzvi Ariel. Hamafked Peiros Eitzel Chavero. So somebody who stores fruits with his friend. Now, the halacha is, if somebody gives you produce and stuff, you're supposed to keep it by itself, not mix it in with your own. But what if you did? It's certainly more convenient that way in a certain sense. You have everything stored in the granary, so you put all the grain in the grain, you put everything together. What if you did put it all together? Now, how are you going to return it? So, well, it's not like he needs his own stuff back. As long as you're giving him back stuff which is, commensurate to what he gave you, it should be fine. But do you have to give him back exactly what he gave you? No. Harizayotzi lo chesronos. So you can take away the decrease, meaning the fruits or the grain or whatever. We have to assume a certain amount of decrease that's going to happen to the amount that he has. Some of it's going to be eaten up by the mice. So therefore, he doesn't have to return to him exactly what he gave him. He gives him back a little bit less. So lechitin ula orez. So they're going to give some actual shiurim. So for wheat and for rice, tisha chatzai kaben lakor. So you'll have 9 half calves you can take off for every core of total wheat and rice. So in terms of the measurements here, so there are 6 kavan in a saw, there are 30 saw in a core. So it comes out that once you do the math here in terms of the total amount, we're talking about 2.5%. 1 out of 40 would be the amount that you could take off, you can assume is going to be lost. Next, Lasa'oren Uladochan. So when it comes to barley and millet, tisha kaven lakor. So then you can use 9 kaven, not 9 half kaven, but 9 kaven lakor. That's the measurement. So there you're talking about 1 in 20. 5% is considered to be the loss. Lakusmin ulazera pishtan. So when it comes to spelt or flaxseed, so then it is 3 saws for the core, or 10%. So a much larger percentage is assumed to get lost. Hakol lefi amida, kol lefi azman. So it says the Tanna Kama, depends how much you gave him, and it depends on the amount of time that it's left in storage. So, if you give him 1 core, so then it's the percentages as we mentioned. 2 cores, it's times 2. Seems to make sense. Says, what do the rats care? Meaning, aren't they going to eat what they're going to eat, whether you have a lot of it there or a little bit? They're going to eat until they're full. They're going to eat their regular shear. So just because you have a lot, doesn't mean that more is going to get eaten. This is rather you can only take off for the first core. This percentage. That's what the mice are going to eat, and then after that, the more that you have to return him exactly what he gave. The Tanna Kama would assume either one of 2 things. Gemara says either, first of all, we're not just taking into account the mice. Right? There are other forms of deterioration that happen here, and that's going to happen, of course. Across the board, equally, the rot is going to take this same route. The other assumption is well, if you have more stuff, so you're going to have more mice. It's not like you have certain mice that basically the mice call their friends, right? When it's a big party, so they invite other mice to join them. Look, there's lots and lots, so we're going to eat more. So they eat the percentage. The more food you have, the more mice will come. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Im haisa mida meruba eno motzi lo chasronos v'bnei shemosiros. So he says, if stored produce were a very large amount, so you can't take away anything because, in fact, it gets to be more. meaning generally you're storing stuff in the summer and you're returning it in the winter. So because of the moisture, whatever, the barley and things like that will get to be bigger. So it'll basically, whatever you lost from the mice and the rot, you gain back in the fact that it has increased in size because of the just general nature of the atmospheric conditions will make it bigger. So therefore, there's no loss involved. You have to return him exactly what he gave you because it all equals out.